Is the Richmond real estate market cooling, or is it just catching its breath? My name is Cindy Bennett. I'm an associate broker with Maison Real Estate Boutique here in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm here to break down the real estate market in our area as we head into the holiday season, giving you a snapshot of October, but also what we're expecting to see as we get into November and December, which are right around the corner. As of October, Richmond, the city of Richmond's median sales price sits at around $375,000. That is a little bit lower than it was this time last year. We're also seeing homes sit on the market for just a little longer than they were this time last year. So right now, our median days on market is about 21. So that has crept up a little bit, but overall, the whole entire state of Virginia is still looking very strong. And while we are seeing some pockets of softening, we are not seeing any sort of major decline or glut of inventory. We are still very low in inventory. If you've heard me talk about the months of inventory out there, you will often hear me say 6 months of inventory is about where we need to be for a balanced market. And we have been consistently way below that, but now we are kind of at our highest inventory in a couple of years, actually, at about 2.6 months of inventory on the market. So by no means do we have a balanced market, but it is a little bit more in favor of buyers than it has been for a while now. If we look at the counties, Chesterfield is definitely seeing some really steady progress. Kind of the status quo is remaining the same as we look at those core price bands. So the first time buyer to, like 3 to 500 range. Once we get into the higher prices, things are taking a little bit longer to sell. In Henrico, you'll see that we are having a few more price cuts. We're seeing more, I can say anecdotally, I'm seeing more price cuts. I am also seeing more agents chasing feedback. If you show a property, there are definitely more text messages, emails, phone calls. What did your buyers think? What do you think of the price? That sort of thing. People are trying to calibrate to this market and get the right list price. Hanover County is seeing much of the same, but a lot of those core price bands are really staying pretty steady, and the lack of inventory is still keeping things moving pretty solidly. With those mortgage rates now dropping, and again, at a low for the past couple of years now, we will probably never see those 3% interest rates again. And I don't think we want to, because that means something big and pretty terrible is happening. So we are right now just a little bit over 6, which is not that bad and historically pretty standard, pretty average for mortgage rates. So with those rates dropping and potentially dropping a little bit more over the course of the next couple of months, things are definitely more appealing and a little bit more easy to stomach for a lot of buyers that want to get into the market and buy a home. So what's coming next? As we head into November and December, we always see a little reduction in listings. We always see a little reduction in activity because, frankly, people have other things on their mind. So if they don't need to sell their home in November and December, most people are not going to sell their home in November and December. Same with buyers. Most people, if they don't need to move, they're not moving in November and December because it's just a pain at the holidays when there is so much other stuff going on and it's cold. Who wants to go out? As we head into the holidays, we're still going to see seasonally, like we always do, a little bit of tapering off of inventory and activity. But with the inventory shortages continuing and no real sense of relief in sight for that, we should still see a fairly strong market, days on market not extending much longer than they are currently, and prices will probably remain pretty steady again, in those core price bands. It's the over 700s that we're really seeing take a little bit longer to sell, and the homes really need to be a little bit more done. So what does that mean for you if you're a buyer or a seller? Well, first off, if you're buying, it's a good time to get into the market because rates have dropped a little bit, so your money gets you a little bit more. It's a little cheaper to borrow money than it has been, but also with higher days on market and prices kind of settling down so things are not so crazy, it's a good time to get out there and make an offer. Make an offer on the home that you love, and you will most likely be able to get a home inspection, but you will also possibly be able to negotiate some closing costs. You might be able to negotiate a lower price. You have a little bit more bargaining power than you have in a while. If you're selling, make sure that before you put your home on the market, you are pricing it to now and not last spring. Because if you price things the way your neighbor's home sold in May, you are going to be chasing that market and probably facing a price reduction in a couple, 2-3 weeks. So make sure you're pricing well, make sure you're pricing strategically for the market that we're in right now. But whether you're looking to buy or sell, if you want a little micro breakdown of your market, your home, what you're looking to do, give me a call, reach out, send me a message, and let's talk the micro market that you're looking at and help you break it down to get you where you want to be.